Hello there. It is Monday, November 3rd, and this is the afternoon shift. I'm Adam Llorens.
I was going to say I'm Maxwell Fuller. I don't have the glasses on today. I feel like I don't have the same pedigree without the glasses, so I'm just Max Fuller.
You're just Max Fuller.
I'm just Max Fuller. Listen, I could say LaToya Maxson.
I don't know.
One of the Jacksons. She's part of the Jacksons.
That's right.
A little known, the lesser known Jacksons.
Right.
Kind of like Peyton Manning and Eli. They have that brother that's like a wide receiver.
That's Cooper.
Yeah,
yes.
Nobody cares about Cooper.
Yeah, well, that's Arch's. That's Arch's father.
Yeah,
you know.
right.
So
so that's his kind of claim to fame.
That's kind of his claim to fame.
That's his claim to fame.
Yeah.
But listen, I could be LaToya Maxson. I could be LaFroya Jackson.
Sure.
I could be the Black Kelly Clarkson. But we got to get to the news.
Yeah.
I did vote for Kelly Clarkson, by the way. First American Idol. I called in. I voted for her.
It was the first American Idol.
Justin Guarini.
Justin
That was the guy she went against. Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, he's in those super annoying Dr. Pepper commercials.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. Who was the second winner of American Idol? This is the better trivia question. Was it Ruben Studdard?
Ruben Studdard. Him and Clay Aiken.
Yes.
The runner-up.
Yes.
They performed together now.
Oh.
Yeah. They were at the Dakota Jazz Club last year. I almost went and saw them. That would have been sweet.
So cool.
That would have been sweet. Back when American Idol really made stars.
Yeah. I mean, Kelly Clarkson starring her own. Carrie Underwood. I mean, she's the biggest name to come from American.
For sure. I would say
she's
so.
like 4 or 5. She was like still kind of early on in there too.
Yeah, for sure. Fantasia. I mean, Jennifer Hudson.
Yes.
I think she's an EGOT and has got her own show on our channel. I believe.
Yes.
So yeah, they've had that. Adam Lambert. I feel like that kind of was like the last.
Yeah.
The last star that they made,
American Idol was good. It was when the Fox days.
Exactly.
And then it left the Fox days.
And then it just lost all direction.
Yes.
Lost all meaning.
Yes, yeah. Well, we're here on Fox. We're proud to be here on Fox 9. We have a great show coming up here on the afternoon shift. SNAP benefits. It's a huge story. Saturday, they ended nationwide, or at least they got put on freeze nationwide.
Yeah.
There's some talk that they could get revamped on Wednesday, but we're going to be talking to somebody locally that has some more insights, especially in with the food shelf purposes here in the Twin Cities.
For sure, yeah. I know that there was a judge ruling that
Yep.
kind of said that SNAP has to be reinstated here, but we'll see. You never know. These things are always tentative, so we'll see how that goes. But hopefully, fingers crossed, that's a good sign for all the millions of people out there affected by this.
Absolutely. Daylight saving time, you're probably feeling the effects of it today, good or bad.
For sure.
It came into place early yesterday morning. We're going to be kind of getting to the bottom of it. We're going to talk to a sleep expert and see what are some tips and tricks to kind of navigate the DST. Yeah,
I might need to have just a one-on-one interview with them. I sleep terribly.
Oh.
I can fall asleep anywhere, but I can't stay asleep.
How
do I stay asleep?
This is these are all fair game questions.
Yeah.
This is the guy to ask these two.
Yeah.
It's a little weird. It's like we're off the air here at 5 Central Time. We'll be on our way home today. It's going to be kind of dark.
It's going to be dark.
Yeah.
Oh, get used to it. Those Minnesota winters, we're not going to see the sun ever again, brother. Been working 9 to 5. You're going to see the sun maybe because by the time you get here, I mean, it'll be coming out a little bit. It'll be out a little bit. But then by the time you leave, it's already dark again.
Yeah.
Say goodbye to the sun.
Yeah.
Today, you saw it today?
I saw it today.
That might be the last time, dog. I hope you say goodbye.
A good thing I'll be leaving hopefully pretty soon. I can see the sun again. Election day is tomorrow. Huge day.
Big time.
Not just in Minneapolis and St. Paul, but really statewide, nationwide.
Yeah.
These down ballot races, these are the ones that really impact the local governments, not so much the big boy races.
Yeah, people think that these local government elections are kind of irrelevant. You know, like I'm only going to the big game. This isn't Major League Baseball versus like AAA baseball or something like that. This is it all affects, and particularly your local elections affect your everyday, day-to-day life.
That's right. So we're going to be talking to somebody that has all the tips and tricks with Election Day, and then in our second hour, the Minnesota Vikings, they're back off the mend. A huge underdog win on yesterday in Detroit. They were 9.5-point underdogs.
Oof. Would have been the biggest upset of the day had the Packers not blown that game yesterday.
Yeah, I know. It was a good day for the Vikings with the Packers losing, and if they would have just gotten the Bears.
That close. Close. We almost had a perfect Vikings, a perfect NFC North day, but we got about as good as it gets, close as it gets.
That's right. They're off the mend. The Gophers football team is off the mend. The Minnesota Wild are off the mend. They had a 5-game losing streak.
Bounce back. We talked about the miserable Minnesota sports weekend a couple of weekends ago. This was the bounce back weekend for pretty much all the sports.
Yes.
Timberwolves won. a big game too. Well, not a big game, but they won.
They won too. You just see, it's just all the winning vibes are just kind of all circulating here. Jesse Pierce, she'll be coming in studio and giving us some insights on the Vikings in the wild.
For sure. Wow, we always pigeonhole her. You know, she's always like, "Can we talk Vikings?" And we're like, "No, you stick to NHL, woman." But now today we're letting her break that glass ceiling, and we're gonna let her talk. We're gonna let her talk football.
I love it. And then affordable glasses and prescriptions. This is something. It affects over 2 billion people worldwide. Yeah. There's an organization that's trying to cut that number in half, which is tremendous. So and it kind of brings it back full circle with that. Without the glasses today.
For sure. Glasses. A lot of people don't know. The glasses are no joke. The price of glasses are insane.
That's right.
Insane. I've been wearing them since I was a kid. I used to have a cross eye when I was a kid.
Oh.
Yeah, I used to wear an eye patch.
You used to wear an eye patch.
Try to correct it,
Oh, okay.
I play the little eye patch games, and I used to have a cross eye. Every time I took off my glasses, you know how hard it is to get girls?
Yeah.
You know, middle school?
Yeah.
Without a cross eye?
I'm sure, It wasn't.
It was tough times.
It was tough.
It was tough times.
Well, listen, hopefully this person's trying to make less tough times for, like I said, for people all around the world. So,
for sure. Yeah. It's a huge thing.
It is. You can follow us on our Instagram account, Maxx, afternoon shift _Fox9.
Afternoon shift _Fox9, just going viral left and right on IG. I mean, I think we're rivaling Lionel Messi. Like, we're right up there. Like 50+ million followers, right? I mean, we're pretty close. We're viral as viral can be. I mean, we got all types of daytime talks. Speaking of Jennifer Hudson, I mean, they wanted me to go down the little alleyway, the little hallway, and do the dances and all that because they saw us on the afternoon show. But I was like, listen, I got stuff to do.
Right.
But we're setting social media ablaze. Yeah. Afternoon shift _Fox9.
We're trying to hit 300. So 300 by the end of the week. It's a realistic goal. I think we can get there.
That's fine. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. 300 is a great movie. Yeah. Great number. You ever seen 300?
I have. Wow. We Are Sparta. Yes.
The Sparta kick.
That's right.
Legendary.
That's right. Go follow us on IG. Let's get into some brief headlines here. Listen, we want to talk about underdog stories of the Vikings being huge underdogs this weekend. The Los Angeles Dodgers.
What an underdog story.
Just the underdog story for the ages. For everybody out there that was rooting against the Dodgers, I hear you. I'm sorry. I want to give a special shout out to the Toronto Blue Jays on an excellent season. It was great. You guys really did compete. You really did. I want to shout out to the whole nation of Canada for Ian Leonard. I want to give him a shout out, Ian, if you're listening.
I do too, because he's going to be hosting the show because he lost a bet.
I think we get a day off. Because Ian promised to host the show.
And it was really, and see, this is why I'm an expert at this, because I negotiated this day off for you.
You negotiated.
I negotiated it. And notice that I threw myself in there too. I'm not even part of this bet. I got no horses in this race, but I threw myself in there as well.
Threw it in there.
So Ian is going to host the show at some point in the undetermined future.
Yes.
And me and you will have a day off thanks to the Los Doyers.
I love it. You know who else is having a day off? The entire city of Los Angeles. Let's get a live shot. Look at that. This is a parade, folks.
We don't know what that looks like. Thank you for clarifying. I'm glad that the lower third is there. I didn't even know what that was. I've never seen one.
That's Clayton Kershaw right there in the middle, everybody. That is Shohei Ohtani
himself.
There you see Ohtani's interpreter right there below him. Let's see who else we can point out here. I see Will Smith. You just walked in the background. That's Teoscar Hernandez. That's Ice Cube.
Look at that, Ice Cube. Of Are We There Yet fame. Right. Yeah.
Just incredible.
Amazing. He was performing there a second ago.
He was. Yeah, he came in this little blue car and everything. So
of course.
Look at that crowd. Just unbelievable.
That's amazing. I'm glad it doesn't get old for you guys.
It doesn't.
I'm glad it doesn't get old.
And actually, they said that this attendance for this parade this year actually outpaced last year.
Wow.
It really
I would imagine, because this is as box office as baseball has been in quite some time. I think they said this is the most viewed World Series in almost 10 years, something like that. Just millions and millions of people tuning in, and it was one of the most dramatic possible World Series that you could ask for. An instant classic, not only in Game 7 of baseball history, but just American team sports history in general.
That's right. Congratulations to the back-to-back World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers. And again, shout out to Ian Leonard. We're looking forward to seeing Ian. We have the tape. We got the tape.
We'll run it back.
We'll run it back.
We're enforcing this, Ian. I'm sorry. You can't get out of this one.
we're going to take a commercial break. We're going to bring in Stephanie Lehman into Studio 9X to talk all about the ACBC food shelf and how they're working around these the SNAP freeze to give Minnesotans at need what they need the most.
For sure. With the government shutdown, it's kind of up to the everyday person to step up, and it sounds like they're doing just that.
That's right. That's right. More to come from the afternoon show. Welcome back to the afternoon shift, Max. It is day 34 of the government shutdown, tied for the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. Wow. It's incredible.
Yeah, and at this point, it seems like it's going to blow that record out of the water, unfortunately.
No doubt, no doubt. And one of the biggest consequential effects of the government shutdown has been the freezing of the SNAP program. Here to give us more insight on all of that is Stephanie Lehman, the executive director of the ACBC Food Shelf, which is helping people in Anoka County and beyond. Stephanie, welcome to the show. Why don't you tell people more about the ACBC Food Shelf?
So ACBC Food Shelf provides food and other resources to families and households all over the Twin Cities, but primarily Anoka County is kind of our hub, but especially in today's climate, everyone is really helping everyone. Yeah.
What is kind of like, when did ACBC get its start? Like, kind of how long have you guys been around, and like, what is your usual kind of bounds of operation compared to like the demand right now?
Okay, so we've been around since 1971, so almost our 55-year anniversary. Just to give a little context of how much the need has grown, in 2019, we had about 8,700 food shelf visits. Last year, we had over 23,000, and this year it'll probably be close to 30,000. We've already fed about 60,000 people up just through the end of September, so the need has been really crazy. We are, like I said, open boundaries, so we have people from all over coming for services. They come into a food shelf. Sometimes ours is a choice model food shelf. That means people can come and shop for themselves, and that is really important to people, especially when you're looking at cultural needs and health issues. So that's one of the things we provide. But we do provide additional produce distributions throughout the month. And right now, we're really gearing up because of the SNAP halt or decrease. So we've actually increased our services by quite a bit, including adding some emergency programs.
And you mentioned it's a choice food shelf.
Yeah.
How exactly does that work? Like if somebody's going to go inside ACPC, what's the process like from the time they step in the door and the time they leave? And because of this, the SNAP freeze, has that program changed, the choice changed because maybe the demand is a little bit higher?
The change is that we're purchasing a lot more food than we were. That's the change. So the process is usually a family or household would make an appointment because we want to get people in and out as quickly as possible because transportation is a barrier for many of our homes. But then we also, so it's a full shelf, it's a food grocery store, right? So you walk in, you get your fresh produce, your meat, your dairy, your pet food, whatever you need. It's supposed to be a really set up as a warm and welcoming environment because it's a really tough to need food, and we know that there should be plenty of food in the community right now. But we have added some additional resources and services, some drop-in stuff, so people can just come in as needed because we do know that right now the need is higher than ever.
So right now with the government shutdown, is it kind of just is the onus all on you guys? Are you getting any help from the state, or kind of what's the deal with that right now? Because I know there was a ruling over the weekend. I don't know if that impacts what you guys are doing, but what is the onus completely on you guys? Or are you guys getting any?
Yeah. Good question. So there is a one-time like $4 million payment that's going to come out through the state. That's kind of shared between about 300 food shelves. I will say the community has been amazing. We're getting donations, a lot of little notes like same thing, food shouldn't be political. It seems to be a really a message in the community like this shouldn't be happening, and it's making people stand up and say it's not fair. Yeah.
Do you have you seen? I know that the freeze of SNAP just started on Saturday over the weekend. I know it's just Monday. Have you seen an uptick? Like what was the experience like at work today? Did you see a higher sort of attendance per se?
Yeah, so last week we ramped up because we knew this week would be busy, but to be honest, there's been a lot of visits to the food shelf because there's so many workers that are furloughed or losing their job or not being paid. So we are seeing a lot of people coming in because of that. They're saying, we have a job, but we're not being paid. We have been experiencing that the last few weeks. And today, we actually went in yesterday to see how many phone messages were already coming in over the weekend. So we are seeing a definite uptick. But we have some plans in place this week to get people in for food just for their shop, to do some free distributions, free boxes on Thursday, and then we're doing a produce distribution on Friday. So it's not just about access to food, but it's also about access to healthy food. So we want to make sure we're still keeping that at the forefront of what we're doing.
Yeah, you mentioned it right there a little bit, but is there additional kind of like events going on this week with the uptick in demand?
Yes, yeah. So, like I said, Thursday, we're going to have a kind of a drop-in box program. So we're really not sure what to expect. Right now, we're almost full with our appointments. So we know that we're going to have, that's going to be a big thing coming up. So we already have volunteers on standby ready to start packing. And that will be boxed food, meat, dairy, some stuff like that, and fresh produce. And then Friday will be just a drop-in. People drop in to get fresh produce, and that's we do that until we run out of food. So we usually expect a couple hundred families in that one as well.
Is the for the people that are going to pick up food from ACPC, is it no questions asked pretty much at the door?
Yeah.
Like anybody really can show up? Because I'm sure for a lot of people it's probably a really hard thing to go, so
we make it as easy and painless as possible. Most of anything that we ask is really online or from home. We want people to come in and just be able to shop for food. Anybody who is getting SNAP benefits, we want them to be able to feel comfortable to come, and we hope that like a lot of other food shelves, we really make sure that providing an experience that's really positive and welcoming while giving people what they need for food is really important to us. So we will make it as seamless as we can. Yeah.
No, I mean you guys are superheroes in our eyes, but not just our eyes. You're certified as a super shelf. What exactly is a super shelf?
Yeah, super shelf means that we've taken an initiative to provide specific kinds of food in our food shelf, but also, like I said, a warm and welcoming environment. So we're going to have, people will come in and they know they're going to get fresh produce and meat and dairy and stuff like that, but they also know they're going to be treated with respect and that they're going to be, coming into a kind of a family. So we really work hard to provide that, even through our training, through our staffing, through everything.
You mentioned part of being the superfood shelf is offering up a specific kind of food. What can you get into those specifics? Like what's
It just means that we will offer, say, like 10 types of produce or 5 types of bakery items, and sometimes that's expensive to do that. So we have dedicated budget to making sure that we purchase that stuff. Now, when we have an uptick in we're probably going to serve 400 to 500 families this month is what we're thinking. It could be more, could be less, but when you think of the additional cost to a food shelf when they're doing that, and all across the metro, that's everyone's seeing the same thing. So that's just good to keep in mind when supporting a food shelf like ours.
Yeah.
No, I know the government shutdown could end. I mean, right now, it could end in 5 minutes. But obviously, it's November. It's right around Thanksgiving time. I'm sure you guys see a lot of uptake around the holidays as well. Do you guys have any special Thanksgiving stuff going on around those times? Yeah.
Right now, we're giving out Thanksgiving kits to all of our people, all of the households that come in. So that's something we like to do. We want to make sure the families still have some normalcy during this time of year. But it's crazy, right? Yeah, it's really sad.
How did you first get started with ACBC? Yeah. I mean, it's a very mission-driven organization. Mm-hmm. What kind of sparked your interest and passion for this kind of work?
Yeah, so I actually came out of the nonprofit world, and I had an opportunity to work for a food shelf, and then I went to ACBC during COVID, which was a crazy time to go to a food shelf. And it was so scary, and it was amazing, and I loved it. And it's really allowed us to kind of start from zero. COVID gave us a chance to really look at everything we did and figure out how to do it better. And that's what we've done. So we kind of recreated who we were a little bit as far as our processes and how we did things. And I think it's been a great experience. And I think that's why we're seeing so many families more than we were. That's part of it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's awesome. We really appreciate all the hard work that you guys do at ACBC. If people want to learn more out there, where can they learn more?
acbcfoodshelf.org is a great place to start, or Facebook.
Awesome.
Yeah.
The ACBC Food Shelf Executive Director, Stephanie Wayman. Stephanie, we appreciate it. By the way, what does ACBC stand for?
It stands for Anoka County Brotherhood Council.
Did that take a while to not say ACBC?
I know. But Anoka County Brotherhood Council is a mouthful, so ACBC is a little easier to say.
Yeah. Well, Stephanie, thank you for your time and thank you for what you're doing in the community for real. Yeah.
No, thank you guys for raising awareness. It's really important.
Awesome. Thanks, Stephanie. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's really important stuff, folks. And we should, if we can put up, there's the website right there. You can go to that website. Make sure you donate and give our fellow brothers and sisters out there what stuff that they need in this trying time.
Absolutely, we all got to come together and help and try to be more like the people at ACBC that are doing the good work out there.
Absolutely. More to come from the afternoon shift after this. It's daylight savings time. It's in full effect. We have a sleep doctor coming on, Max. Not just about DST, but you got some other sleep questions for him.
Yeah, for sure. And just to study up on for the next interview, I'm just gonna
doze off. Yes.
Hey, a little bit here.
Hopefully, Max will be up by the time we're back. We'll see you here in 2 minutes. welcome back. Max, I think there's a lot of bipartisan things that people can agree on out there. I think daylight saving, I think it's on near the top of the list.
Yeah,
I think
didn't know it was such a controversial thing for the longest time, but I think everybody's kind of sick of it.
I think Democrats, Republicans, I think everybody's kind of on the same board. Nobody really likes this.
No, I think we're all confused by it. Don't really understand it. I know we're not the only country in the world that does it, but I think we all don't really. We realize it's just one of those things we've been doing, and then we all just kind of sat back and was like, but why?
Why?
But why? Though?
Right.
But why? And now people are starting to ask those questions, and who knows? We could be done away with daylight savings time in the near future here.
That's right. There is some conversations about ending it. But one of the biggest why questions that people have when it comes into effect is because it messes up their sleep patterns and their schedules and the daylight, and you're in bed earlier, or there's the temptation to be in bed earlier. So we wanted to bring in a sleep expert to kind of tell us more about this and give us some more insights. He is with M Health Fairview. His name is Dr. Akinbolaji Akingbola. And if he is on the line here, there he is. How you doing, doctor?
I'm good. How are y'all doing today?
We're fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us. Doc, we love the fall back way more than the spring forward. From a sleep perspective, which do you think is easier for people to adjust to?
So we just switched back to standard time, and standard time is definitely better for our sleep schedules than daylight savings time is.
Yeah.
Doc, I know this is probably not it's something you learned in medical school, but I'm curious. Do you know why do we even do daylight savings time? Like, what? Why? Just why?
Oh, I think that's you're right. That's a more of a historical, political tidbit there, but I think it has something to do with the energy lobby, even the candy lobby I've heard. So it's not anything backed in science. I think it has to do with lobbyists and our politicians.
The candy lobby.
Wow.
The candy?
Big candy is
Big
behind.
Reese's,
Big Snickers. Gotta say that slow.
So daylight savings time did end later than it used to. So I think that pushing it back a few weeks so that it would end after Halloween was a part of that push, but I'm not 100% sure on that one.
Interesting. I'm gonna have to do some research on that.
Dr. Akingbola, it's getting darker so much earlier now. There's the temptation to get into bed earlier because the sun is completely down at 5 o'clock. Is that what we should be doing from a sleep perspective?
So I would say we shouldn't be fighting our natural body's rhythms. I think the more important thing is to think about what time we need to wake up. And so if we're going to sleep earlier, then we'll naturally be waking up earlier. So rather than trying to shift your schedule all at once, maybe shifting about 15 minutes here and 15 minutes every couple of days to a week, once a week. That way you can stick to your natural wake sleep schedule.
Doc, like, how long does it kind of take to course correct like bad sleeping habits and change your sleeping patterns? Like, I know it's easy to do it one night, but then to actually like make it a habit and actually change the pattern, internally, how long does that usually take to course correct?
That's a great question. If you think about yourself, you've probably been on the trajectory for your sleep schedule since you were about a teenager, if not a little bit earlier than that. And so if you are trying to shift your schedule drastically a few hours in any direction, that can take, I would say, a couple of months to really get that consistent.
Wow.
Yeah. I think sleep is one of those things, no matter who you are, everybody struggles with it. Doctor, I'm curious, you're a sleep scientist, a sleep expert. Do you struggle with sleep? And I'm sure you do sometimes. In those moments that you do, how do you, like Max said, course correct yourself to get yourself back on track where you're sleeping soundly each night?
Well, I would agree. I'm probably not the best sleep patient, but I think generally speaking, I have a pretty easy time falling asleep. Myself, I had sleep apnea, and with some weight loss, that's been largely well controlled, and so I don't have much difficulty staying asleep anymore. I think I try to think about what we tell our patients, and I think one thing that's very helpful is rather than trying to force yourself to sleep, really focusing on going to sleep when you're sleepy. That'll make falling asleep a little bit easier. It sounds very intuitive, but I think a lot of people focus on, oh, I need to get 8 hours of sleep, so I need to be in bed by this amount of time. I think if you focus on getting into bed when you're actually sleepy, that really will cut down on your time to fall asleep. And then more importantly for our sleep schedule, I think keeping a consistent wake up time, I think, is very important as well from a sleep perspective. From the moment we wake up, everything that we're doing, if you have a consistent schedule, really does set you up for being able to fall asleep a little bit easier. So keeping a consistent wake up time is very important as well.
Doc, you touched on it just a little bit there. I got no problem falling asleep. I just cannot stay asleep to save my life. And I know I'm not the only one out there. Like, what's kind of like, I mean, obviously there's no simple fixes, but what's like a one thing that's kind of like an easy way for people to kind of keep the consistent sleep going throughout the night?
So I think a better question there would be, what is waking you up? And then trying to figure out what are the sorts of things that we can be addressing in terms of, are you waking up because you feel like your breathing's abnormal? Are you waking up because you feel like you're restless? Or you're moving a bunch during the night? Those would be the two most common things that wake people up. So really trying to figure out what it is that's waking you up and then addressing that root issue, rather than giving a large generic answer there.
Doc, I'm gonna share some. I don't hope I'm not oversharing here. I'm sure there's a lot of people in the audience that also go through this. I find, Max, when I get the best sleep, I tend to sweat, like profusely through the night.
But I've heard that's bad.
But I always wake up. That's like the deepest sleep I get. Doctor, is this normal for like to be sweating and get like really deep sleep? Because it's something I know that I experience on occasion.
Physiologically, when we go to sleep, our body temperature drops. Typically, when I think about the physiology that's taught in sleep medicine, the deepest part of our sleep is when our body temperature is at its lowest. So I would say sweating profusely is not. I wouldn't typically think of that as something that I would associate with good sleep. I think more often I would associate being very hot at night as I would associate that more with more difficult sleep, less efficient sleep, I should say.
Maybe you're an anomaly.
I know, but
you're
like
a medical
that's
miracle.
when I get like the you always know it's a good night at sleep when you got the crust in your eye. Like that's good. Like that's what it should be, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Doc, I'm curious. Again, asking for just like a blanket answer, but just like what's just like one way out there that someone could improve their sleep habits, like an easy way that someone could do today.
I think I would circle back to an earlier answer that I gave. I think it's doing things that help promote sleep. So getting on a very good sleep schedule, keeping your wake up time very consistent, and then in the evening time, doing things that help you wind down. So, maybe reducing the temperature in the home, less bright lights in the evening, less screen time in the evening, doing things that are relaxing that can help you reduce your anxiety or your worries about the next day or on the current day. Those sorts of things, I think if you can do those things pretty consistently, that'll help set you up for a good night of sleep.
And Doctor, you mentioned keeping the same sleep routine 7 days a week, even on the weekends, because a lot of people like to stay up later on the weekends and then kind of sleep in. Is sleeping in, is that good for you? Is that good for your routine?
For your routine, I would say no. I like to think that our body only has so much sleep to give. And so if you sleep in on the weekends, then your body is trying to adjust to where you slept to. And then on Sunday, you're trying to go to sleep earlier, but on Sunday morning, for instance, you woke up later. So now when it's time to go to sleep, your body's not quite yet ready for sleep. And then that carries over for the next couple of days. And then by midweek, you've probably caught up. And then Saturday, Sunday, you kind of repeat that cycle again. So sleeping in definitely isn't good for your sleep schedule, your sleep cycle.
To bring this back around to daylight savings time, just in your opinion, we mentioned it at the top, this has kind of become a controversial thing. A lot of people have a lot of strong opinions on it. Just in general, do you think we should stick with daylight savings time, or are you willing to throw it out the window?
The official recommendation from sleep medicine is to stick with standard time, so what we're in now, and to get rid of daylight saving time.
Yeah, I'm in favor of that too, because I don't like the spring. The spring forward's the worst. The fall back isn't so bad.
That's fine. Yeah, but I'll take an extra hour.
The spring forward,
that's the worst.
That's the worst.
Give me that back.
That makes it very difficult.
Yeah.
Doctor, if there's somebody, a viewer out there that wants to, be consulted on their sleeping patterns, maybe they want to be studied on their sleeping patterns, where can they go? What should be some of the steps that they should be doing?
The first person they should talk to is their primary care physician, and to find out if that's something that the primary care doctor can help them with. Start something out before being referred to a sleep specialist. So our primary care physicians are definitely the best place to start, and then working with them, and then deciding whether or not a referral to a sleep medicine expert is in need.
I love it. Dr. Akin Bola, he is a sleep expert from M Health Fairview. We really appreciate you, doctor. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, you too.
You
Thanks.
too.
You know, I like talking about sleep, but now what's going to happen, this is inevitable. Tonight, I'm going to be thinking about that conversation, and then it's going to actually have the inverse effect, I feel like.
I know. I can't do anything to sleep. Like I never feel like I fully rest.
Yeah. When was the last time you felt like you got like a really good...
Honestly, I honestly think it was like at least a year or two ago.
Oh, stop.
Yeah, no, I'm not even joking. It's
I don't
like a year or two ago.
A year?
Yeah. The last time I legitimately, I think it was 2 years now. The last time I remember waking up in Brazil and being like, hell yeah, I feel great. Like I felt like I could have did a decathlon. You know? Like I felt like I could have been out there with Ian doing my thing. You know? But I just can't say this. I never feel fully rested. I don't get into that deep sleep.
Yeah.
I got to go see Doc or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he probably could help you out there. So
hopefully.
you got to make that. You got to.
I know. I got to prioritize that. It's a pretty big deal.
It's a huge deal.
It's a pretty big deal.
It's a huge deal. So we'll see.
We'll see. Hopefully this interview didn't put people to sleep. Hopefully this episode of the afternoon shift doesn't put people to sleep.
That's right. That's right. Another thing that's a huge deal. Sleep is a big deal. Election day tomorrow. Huge deal. Do you know your polling location?
I don't.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm ashamed.
Yeah.
I'm ashamed. I don't know my poll. I fully plan on voting.
Yeah.
I fully plan on being a part of this. But doing my civic duty. But I don't know where my polling place is.
I got to look up mine too. I think there's a flyer in my mail. Obviously, you and I, we're going to be able to vote in a very big election, the Minneapolis mayoral election. But there's a lot of other elections going on that they don't get publicity. A lot of people don't know about them, but they're probably more important for your everyday life than maybe even the Minneapolis mayor election is.
Yeah, for sure. Not everybody in the Twin Cities lives in Minneapolis. We like to have Minneapolis-centric, goggles on sometimes because it's a hub here. But there's a lot going on all across the land of 10,000 lakes, especially on election day tomorrow.
Yeah. What about St. Paul? What about our viewers in St. Paul? They're
I don't.
What about
technically
St. Paul?
It's technically the capital. I mean,
what about St. Paul?
Really, for being real, we might have to have a discussion about this whole Twin Cities thing. It kind of just feels like Minneapolis has got the whole thing on its back lately.
What?
You
really?
know?
You really feel that way?
It does kind of feel like. I mean, we'll ask Jessie Pierce. She's a frequenter of St. Paul later on in the show, but it kind of feels like it's just the single city. The only child city. I don't know. St. Paul doesn't seem like it's carrying its weight. It's a beautiful city. I love St. Paul.
We have a lot of colleagues in this building that are St. Paul. What do they call them? Paulites. Paulians. Yeah.
Big Pauls.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just feel like it doesn't really.
Yeah.
It's not up to par with Minneapolis. There's not as much going on. Like, how many times do people go, let's go hang out in St. Paul?
What about the St. Thomas basketball game on Saturday?
Is that
it's a huge deal. Yeah.
Oh,
it is a huge deal.
Huge.
St. Thomas. Listen, University of Minnesota, and they're both partners. So I feel they have a big game tonight. They're playing Gardner Webb. The Tommies are playing St. Mary. St. Mary's is in the tournament every year. Everybody.
Yeah.
They're playing them tonight.
It's a big deal.
That is a big deal.
It's a big deal.
That is a big deal.
But does that make St. Paul a big deal?
Yeah. There's no doubt. Listen, Election Day is a big deal. We're going to be talking to an Election Day expert. Her name is Lisa Herbs. She's the co-leader of the Indivisible Twin Cities. The Indivisible Twin Cities. Wow. This is perfect. Yeah, you just said that you want to divide them.
I just tried to divide the Twin Cities. Yeah, Lisa said, not on my watch.
We're going to get Lisa's perspective on this. More to come from that. shift, Max. Tomorrow, it's election day. We feel like we've been counting down for weeks now. It's happening tomorrow. Yeah,
I think we've done our civic duty as citizens. We've raised so much awareness around election day. Nobody's more hyped than the afternoon shift about voting.
That's right. The only thing, furthermore, that we can do for our civic duty is actually vote tomorrow. Which
true.
Hopefully it does get a good turnout. It's not a marquee election. There's no president on the line or governor or anything, but it's still important to go out and vote tomorrow.
Absolutely. And I heard that in honor of that, tomorrow you're going to Zoom us while you go out and vote and actually show us who you're voting for on each specific topic live on the air. Is that true? I heard a rumor about that. Is that true?
I don't know about that. But what we do have here is we do have somebody that can tell us more about what to expect at the polls tomorrow and maybe some more of these down ballot races. She's the co-leader, I kid you not, folks, of Indivisible Twin Cities. Maxx was just talking about the Twin Cities. You're saying the divisible Twin Cities.
I'm just saying. I'm not trying to divide the Twin Cities. I'm just saying. It feels like Minneapolis is really they're the only ones holding up their end of the bargain.
The co-leader of Indivisible Twin Cities is Lisa Herbs. Lisa, we got to get your perspective on this. Where in the Twin Cities do you live, and do you really believe that one is greater than the other?
I live in St. Paul, and occasionally I cross the river and go into Minneapolis.
I tell you,
from time to time,
I love it. Listen, Lisa, we have you here talking about Election Day. What do you think what's the forecast for the voter turnout? Like, I just said, there's no president on the line.
Yeah.
There's no governor. There's no senator on the line. Like, I understand this isn't a marquee year, but where do you think the turnout's going to be?
Minnesota has one of the largest voter turnouts in elections anyway. We always are at the very top of the list. So that's always good. But for these types of elections where it's more local based, the turnout isn't as great. And personally, I think that's kind of messed up a little bit because the elections that people are going to be voting on tomorrow really, really impact their lives. I mean, these things are things that you will be dealing with pretty much every day in your life. Whereas the more national elections, yes, they're very important. Don't get me wrong, but I think these elections kind of get a bad rap.
Yeah. Do you feel like could you expand on that a little bit? Do you feel like people kind of just push these smaller elections
I think
to
they
the
do.
side? And why is it important to vote in your local
You
election?
hear people say a lot, well, my vote doesn't matter and that type of thing, which especially in these local elections, the differences between votes can be really small. And so every vote really does matter. And the fact is that, for example, if you're voting for school board members, for example, and a lot of people are like, I don't know who to vote for. Well, it's not that hard to do just a little tiny bit of a Google search to figure out which candidates you might or might not want to be on the school board, making decisions about the education of your children. I mean, that's a big deal. And people who are voting for city council positions, those are the people who are deciding how your local taxes are going to be spent. So you really should care about who's making those types of decisions. And then there's several referendums that are on different ballots. We had 2 in St. Paul. Those things, again, that's where they're asking the voters to make the decision about that particular issue. So, it's a big deal.
Absolutely. I know that there are these down ballot things, but for those residents in the Twin Cities, in Minneapolis and St. Paul, the big ones are the mayoral elections. These are ranked choice voting elections. Last week we had one of our colleagues to come in and talk about ranked choice voting. I know that this is a system that you're familiar with. Can you just give us an abridged version of what to expect? Because I think there's going to be a lot of people that go to the polls tomorrow and they're like, wait, what? I have to choose 3? Like it can be a little confusing. Can you just basically break it down for people what to expect tomorrow?
It's really not that difficult. And the thing is, you don't have to do it. So that's not required. So when you go in and, for example, in St. Paul, I think we had 4 people on the ballot, 4 or 5. But me personally, I didn't rank all of them. I ranked 3 of them. So you can do that if you want to. So, and it's really just who's your first choice. If that person doesn't get it, who's your second choice, and then who's your third choice? And it's. I wish we did ranked choice voting nationally, and I'd love to see that day because it really does it expands how you can vote and get the next best person if your person doesn't quite make it. That way you can feel like you're voting for the person you really do care about. But if for some reason that person doesn't get enough votes, then maybe your second choice will get the job.
Yeah.
Now, we've been talking a lot about people that maybe are pushing these elections to the side, but there'll be a lot of people out there that this is their first time voting as well, that are super excited to be part of the electoral process. What is kind of like, if someone's feeling anxiety, because, a lot of us don't leave the house anymore these days. We don't know how to act in public spaces. We don't know what to expect in these kind of situations. If someone's feeling anxiety about their first time voting, what is something to kind of like assuage those worries?
Well, I think one of the things that and again, this is a Minnesota thing. It's true all over the country, but I really see it here in our elections, is that the people who are working at the election, at the poll sites, are mostly volunteers, and they're really dedicated to the process. Yeah. And they want to make sure that it all goes smooth, that things are handled properly, that there's no issues. And I've worked the polls before, and you do see people that they might mess their ballot up and then they have to do it again, and just little things like that, or they can't figure out which way to scan the ballot into the machine, and there's always somebody there to help you. So I'd say I like to think that when people first start voting, if it's their very first time, if they're 18, 19 years old and they've never voted before, it's like the best habit to get into is to just make that your thing, where you show up every time the polls are open.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I know you kind of touched on this earlier, but I just kind of want to reinforce this. What would your message be to those people that just say, yeah, well, listen, my vote doesn't matter, and I got to go to work, I got to make dinner for the kids. Like, the polls, I think we have a graphic here. They're open from when, 7 a.m. to 7 or 8 p.m. I know we got some, there's a lot of people that feel like they probably cannot make it within that window, however big of a window that is. There it is, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Yeah.
What would your message to those people be?
Well, first of all, that's why we have early voting, to make it more convenient for people so that they can hopefully go when it's maybe more convenient for them. They can go to the polls. They can get it done. I voted on Friday. So that's one thing, right? So there is some flexibility into when you can go. If you can't get to the polls, you can do a mail-in ballot, or take it and drop it off at the voting site. So there's other ways to vote besides physically going to the polls on Election Day. And typically, it's, especially in these elections where the turnout's not as high, it doesn't take that long. You usually can get in and out pretty quick. So that's about, I like I said, if I think people just need to make it a habit.
Yeah,
for sure. I've been voting since before I was even eligible. I voted for Kelly Clarkson in the American Idol, in the first American Idol. I called in and voted for Kelly Clarkson, expressing my rights, my excitement to be a part of the electoral process.
There were lawsuits about statements like that Lindsay just made.
What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. Now, I think a lot of people, when they think of these local elections, are only thinking about like mayoral races and stuff like that. But there's all types of things on these ballots. Like, what are some of the things outside of like mayoral elections that are going to be on some of these ballots?
Well, there's a kind of a big school board race going on for Anoka Hennepin schools. There's 3 seats that are open. A lot of money has been spent on that race, so that's really important, really critical. Like you said, there's the mayoral races, and there's some city council seats, and some of the cities not like we didn't have any in St. Paul, but like I think in Bloomington they've got some city council seats that are being voted on. So, yeah, there's important stuff out there.
For sure.
Lisa, we were talking off air. You're from the great state of Georgia. We hear it in your voice. It's a really beautiful. It's a peach of a voice you got there. You like the peach reference there too.
Yeah.
How did you become involved with Indivisible Twin Cities? So from Georgia to an organization that really it's a very strong Minnesota name that they have there. What does the organization do? How did you become involved with them?
I got involved. Well, I've always been very politically, I guess I'd say active. I've always been very interested in politics most of my life. So when I moved here in 2016 during that presidential election. And in 2017, I wanted to get more politically involved. So I was looking around for some things, and I wound up at the time, it was Indivisible-St. Paul meeting, and they were looking for somebody to help like administer their Facebook page. And I went, oh, I can do that. And that's how I got, and now here I am. So we merged together with 2 other indivisible groups, smaller groups, back, I think it's been 2 years now. I can't remember because the time goes so fast. And that's when we created Indivisible Twin Cities, because we felt like we needed to have a little bit bigger reach. At that time, there actually wasn't an Indivisible group in Minneapolis. There was St. Paul, we had an Edina group, and we had a Roseville group, and we all came together to create Indivisible Twin Cities. And it's just grown crazy growth, especially this year.
Yeah, that's awesome. Back to, you're an expert. You're an expert voter.
Well,
an expert on voting. Back to like the newbies there. Like, say someone like my good friend Fax Muller maybe moved to Minneapolis 2 years ago. He doesn't know where his again, not to be confused. I'm Max Fuller. This is Fax Muller. No relation. He maybe moved to Minneapolis 2 years ago. Doesn't know where his polling place is. Like, where do you find that type of information? Like polling place, registration, stuff like that. Like that basic information.
It is
that some
so
people might not know.
easy. You go to mnvotes.org, and that's run by the Secretary of State's office, and it has everything you need to know. You just put in your address. It tells you where your polling place is. It tells you what's going to be on your ballot. You can print out a ballot, a sample ballot, so that you kind of know what you're going to do if you want to take that in with you. Sweet. So, yeah, it's that easy.
That's awesome.
When do you expect we'll know the results of these mayoral races in both the Twin Cities? Do you think this is going to be like in the wee hours in the morning, or you think we're gonna know pretty quick here?
I have no idea. I really don't. Especially in Minneapolis, there's quite a few candidates, and so the ranked choicing stuff might come into play, and I think that makes things go a little longer. So, no idea.
Yeah.
If people want to find out more about Indivisible Twin Cities and all the stuff you guys do, where can they find out more?
At www.indivisibletwincities.org, which is a lot to type. And the word indivisible is so hard to spell.
Yes.
But indivisibletwincities.org.
Lisa Erbs, the co-leader of Indivisible Twin Cities. We appreciate all the insights. Lisa, thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Yes. Did she change your mind? Why do you were trying to divide the Twin Cities this last segment? I'm so glad that Lisa changed her mind.
I'm a resident of one of them, but
you were trying to see.
I think culturally, I think that St. Paul is better just because the restaurant scene.
What do they call it? Outside agitator. You're from California, trying to split us good Minnesotans together. But you cannot divide.
I cannot divide
the Twin Cities.
Yeah.
Thanks to people like Lisa here.
I love the Twin Cities, and we love people like Lisa that are here trying to help out the political processes in both the Twin Cities, and hopefully we have good races tomorrow and get vote kind of quick and no winner at a reasonable hour.
And we'll be covering it here wall to wall tomorrow as well.
We sure will. We will be covering it wall to wall. Lisa, thanks again. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
More to come from the afternoon shift after this. Welcome back to the afternoon shift. Look at that, Max. It's right at 4 o'clock.
Look at that.
Could be 5 o'clock if it weren't for daylight savings time.
No, we could have already been off work by now. I think we should, you know what? In protest of daylight savings time, I think we should just roll the music and just call it a day.
What about Jesse? Wait. We have a whole hour. We got to sell these commercials.
Yeah, I guess
we got to make some money.
I guess
we got to make
so.
some money. We got Jessie Pierce coming on this hour.
Yeah, that
in
should be a lot
studio.
of fun,
Her second
right.
ever visit in studio.
Yeah, she's finally. I mean, you have always been advocating against Jessie speaking anything football. You're always like, oh, we can't have. What does Jessie know about the Minnesota Vikings?
not true.
She's a hockey girly. She doesn't know anything about the Minnesota Vikings. But finally, after months of advocacy, we have Jessie in studio talking about the Minnesota Vikings
That must have
and
been
the Minnesota Wild.
That must have been Ladam Llorens.
Yeah.
Not
exactly.
me.
Not you.
Not me.
That was the same guy that was trying to divide the Twin Cities. That wasn't me.
Yeah, I'm just Mr. Divisive today. Adam. No, we love Jessie Pierce. Of
course.
We love the Bar Down Beauty Park. I might be going to St. Paul. Speaking of the Twin Cities, I grew up
Predators.
a big Nashville Predators game.
Yeah.
Or Nashville Predators.
You went to their
fan.
first game ever, didn't
Went
you?
to their first. They lost. But I went to the first ever game. They're playing the Wild tomorrow. It's the hottest ticket in the whole NHL tomorrow night.
Oh yeah, I bet. I mean, there's standing room only.
Step aside,
Standing
Bruins,
room-
Red Wings. Step aside.
Right. We don't need you, Boston.
Step aside.
Minnesota, Nashville is here.
Minnesota,
okay?
Nashville. That might be fun to go to tomorrow.
Yeah,
We'll
for
see.
sure. Wild games are always fun, man. The energy is infectious there. And hey, they're on. I mean, they were on the schneid for a little bit there, but they're on a 1-game win streak right now.
Yes. It's the only Minnesota pro sports venue I've not been to. I've not
Really?
been to the Wild.
Oh
so, yeah,
man, it
so.
is electric.
Yeah.
It is electric
Yeah.
at the Exo Energy Center. Not a bad seat, and even if you're not a hockey guy, the energy in there is just infectious. Yeah.
Yes.
It's a party.
We'll see if that ends up working out. So Vikings Wild next segment with Jesse. And then affordable glasses and prescriptions. It's just a shame that you don't have your glasses today.
I know. I gotta. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll bring them out of the backpack before the segment for sure.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
absolutely. And they're clean this time. They're
Oh,
clean.
right.
I did clean
They
them
were a
'cause they
little
were
foggy.
so. Yeah, they
Yeah.
were bad the other day. They were smudged up. They were.
Yeah.
There's more fingerprints on that than an OJ crime scene. I thought you saw me hesitate.
Poor OJ.
I had to do it. I mean, technically, he didn't do it.
OJ's not even with us anymore. He's gone.
What?
Like, he passed.
When?
He passed like
What?
a year or months ago. Like,
Do we not have a lower third?
in memoriam? Can't we just let OJ?
I don't think we can.
Can't we just let him be like?
It's like, hey, I don't think we can. Is it too soon? It's too soon for OJ Joe?
I don't know. I feel like I don't know. He's gone. He can't even defend himself anymore. Like it's.
Yeah, I mean, hey, he had nothing better to do. Maybe he was watching the show. Maybe he would have watched the show, and maybe he would have.
Orenthal, James Simpson. That would have been a heck of an interview.
That would have been a hell of a get.
You know
That
what?
would have been a hell of a get.
I've always said, if he was still with us, I think the two best gets for this show would be the president and OJ. It would have been a great get. It would have been a great get.
Guest wish list.
We could have been on TMZ
yeah.
with that get.
Absolutely. We would have
Yes.
been on TMZ,
Yes.
ESPN.
We would have had
documentaries
ads behind
being filmed.
these pictures. They would be
Yeah.
ads for Coke and
Yeah.
Pepsi and whatever.
I mean, freaking delete the Ian Fox local commercial.
Yeah.
Delete it.
Delete
that
it.
would have been your
That would've
boys
been-
in
yes.
there. Absolutely.
Yes.
We would have been the faces of the station.
we really could have been it. So
Missed opportunity.
missed
to
opportunities.
interview OJ.
I guess there's other players involved.
Yeah.
We could, Mr. Cochran's no longer with us.
He's
either.
not with us either.
We'll have to-
Robert Kardashian. But maybe we can get Kim Kardashian. I used to keep up with the Kardashians.
Kim Kardashian would be a heck of a get for the afternoon.
Speaking
shift.
of keeping up, what else we got on the show today?
That's
it.
Jesse and
Jesse
the
and
glasses.
Wow,
Yeah.
I mean, that's just these shows go by really fast.
Especially with daylight savings. That's what I'm saying. So yes,
I know.
yes,
It's unbelievable. I'm super excited to talk hockey and Vikings football because it was a huge.
I am too.
Huge win yesterday. Yesterday was kind of a crossroads game.
Yes.
And if you haven't been able to tell, the fan temperature has completely been a 180.
Yes.
It was ice cold. like, hey, yeah,
Yes.
or just less than 24 hours ago, and then funny how winning cures all.
Yeah, you get your gift of Lamar Jackson, who just threw 4 touchdown passes last week on Sunday.
Great.
Wait, listen, it is good for the Vikings, and they are in last place, but the asterisk is that the Packers only have one more win than them.
Right, it's a skin tight race in the NFC North, and obviously the Vikings there's other avenues for them to make the playoffs in general. It's just there's so much parity in the NFL that nobody is truly out of it. I mean, the Ravens are favored to win their division, and they have 2-3 wins.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
it's true. It's true, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
Jesse Pierce, the co-host of the Bar Down Beauties podcast, she'll be joining us in studio next. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the afternoon shift. We have one of our best buds in the house here, Jesse Pierce.
Yeah, one of the top homie. I mean, I think her and Lauren should just share. We can't say one.
Okay.
Of them. Her and Lauren should just top homie.
Co-top homie.
Co-homie.
I'm always willing to share a prize like that. That sounds great. At least it's not a participation trophy, right?
No,
like I'm
definitely
here.
not
We're
that.
fully in. We're embraced. I love it.
You are very much embraced. You are also the co-host of the Bar Down Beauties podcast, which covers not just the Minnesota Wild, but also the Minnesota Vikings, who had a big win yesterday. Maybe some of your initial thoughts of their win yesterday.
I mean, they won, right?
Yeah.
That needed to happen.
Yeah.
Like, that feels darn good. You get J.J. McCarthy back. I think they looked a little bit like the Vikings we fell in love with last year, right? I mean, classic Vikings, they're going to reel you back in, and they certainly reeled me back in. The 2 opening drives they have are touchdowns, which we haven't seen in how many games now where they're actually scoring points in the first half. I thought that was huge. Blocked kick was also the difference maker for me, LDR there. And I'm feeling good. It's going to be another tough game coming up. But you beat the Lions. Who doesn't love that? It means the NFC remains wide open. The Vikings certainly again, reeled me back in. I'm okay with the tattoo for a little bit
Got
longer.
the skull tattoo. Oh, you were regretting that for a couple games this season.
So
for
many.
sure.
So many. Even game 1, I was like, this was dumb.
Like,
this wasn't fun.
Can I cover this up?
So the Vikings, remember how they did the tattoo release?
Yeah.
Well, they gave away free tattoos, and I had nothing to do one day, and
why
I'm
not?
all
Just
for
tat
the
it out.
content.
Yeah.
So, it was courtesy of the Minnesota Vikings. So
I love it.
Was there any consideration in getting like a Tupac style, like Bud Light?
just all across. You know, I don't know if they had the time for that, right? Like it was limited.
Yeah.
But they were like, they did a nice job. A couple people got Victor, and it was like so detailed and everything.
wow.
I went a little safe with it.
Yeah,
But,
for sure.
we
Just in
enjoyed it.
case you need to, if
Just if
jump out of that
the
plane.
tough days,
Yeah,
I'm kind
exactly.
of like, all right, that's all right
Put a
there.
little wristband on that thing.
Exactly.
But it's all good right now because they
Yes.
won. I feel like the fan temperature just did a complete 180. We were all saying top 10 draft pick. Let's look forward to the NFL draft, and then the Vikings win, and now we're looking towards the playoffs again. And part of that is because JJ McCarthy. Easily his best game of his young career. Is the first time we've seen kind of a consistent game from him throughout 4 quarters. But just in general, what are your thoughts about JJ's big game
His
yesterday?
decision making was great, right? I mean, and you can lend a lot of that to KOC and his play calling, and he's so good. As we know, the quarterback whisperer definitely knows how to lend an ear to those young quarterbacks. But he had confidence. I mean, he meditated, I think they said, 2.5 hours prior to
that
kickoff?
shot was amazing when they just zoom in. There's nobody in the stadium, not even the staff, and he's just sitting there just like
the focus, right? Like I love it. But he exudes this confidence. He did. You saw it in the Chicago game as well. Just the way that he absolutely leads that for such a young guy to command that in the room. Justin Jefferson has said it before. I think Aaron Jones said it after his first game too. It's like that says a lot about this young kid. Minnesota's never had their franchise quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. They got that in JJ McCarthy, I think, 100%.
oh, it's super exciting.
Do you it's just crazy to me how with the JJ conversation, it was so kind of negative, but now this morning it seems to be so positive. Like, are you back all in? Is this the life of a Minnesota sports fan?
This is
Being all
100%.
out,
It's
all in?
gosh, yeah.
absolutely.
There's no in between. You're just waiting to be hurt in the most painful manner, right? Which is we are consistently night in and night out, year in year after year. I was never so against JJ. I was never all in though. It's like I haven't seen him. We have not seen what he's been capable of doing, and even the sample size remains so small. I mean, you look at the weapons he has offensively. He should be able to sling it. And I think yesterday what really impressed me too was his decision to run the ball too when he needed, when he was able to get out of some difficult situations, because the Detroit Lions are a very good football team on both sides of the ball. So JJ McCarthy definitely I gave him an extra little bean in his pot. I'm like, okay, I'm starting to see it. Like, he's still young. There's still going to be those growing pains, and as he's continuing to come back from this injury. But I like it. I mean, you got nothing else. Really. I mean, so I like it more than Carson Wentz. Shout out to Carson Wentz for all that he played through. Yeah. But I certainly have a little bit more faith in JJ.
Yes, that was rough. I thought he did a good job of layering his throws too. Even Tom Brady was pointing that out on the broadcast. We all know JJ can throw the fastball, but we saw the touch, the precision, the finesse a little bit more than we had seen in the past. So it was good to see. What do you think is a realistic expectations for the rest of the season for Vikings fans? Because I feel like a lot of us are trying to decide that right now. Like, okay, we won yesterday. Are we full of steam ahead towards the playoffs, or should we go back to kind of thinking we're going to be towards the top 15 in the draft?
I mean, it is a gauntlet of a schedule, right? Like I said, we start with Lamar. Yep. That's not great. Not great. At home,
of course, they're fully
the
healthy right when it's time to play the Vikings.
Yes, exactly, right? And the schedule it makes that Green Bay game even more important, right? The nice thing is Minnesota has now asserted themselves undefeated in the division. And again, that division remains wide open. I love Packers lose. The Bears almost bared out, but they managed to win. So you got 5-3, 5-2, and 1. Yep. And Detroit in that too. It makes me feel comfortable. The interesting thing is the West in general just feels it's different. So I don't know. I temper my emotions, right? I lived through 98. I was there. I watched my dad cry. So I don't want to say I am full steam ahead, this team's going to go, but you got to go for it. When you have the division looking as it is, as tight as it is, you got to give it your all. And I think the Vikings are going to do that naturally.
For sure. And they're kind of in win now.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're kind of built to win right now. So why not try to win?
I mean, Justin Jefferson doesn't strike me as a gentleman that wants to sit back and wait to rebuild, right?
Yeah.
I think he's we're going.
Yeah, go get him. See, Jesse's great at breaking down the Vikings. I don't know why you didn't want her to break down. I don't know why you put that glass ceiling above her head.
It's because I'm a female, I guess. It's fine.
You said it.
That is not true.
I'm kidding.
It's not true. It's not true. Jesse, we're talking all about the offense. Let's talk about the defense, because the defense had struggled the last couple of games. The Lions, by all accounts, have one of the most high-powered offenses in the NFL. Held them to 24 points. 24 points is still a lot, but I mean, compared to what the Vikings had done the previous couple of weeks, that was a big one. Would you say the defense maybe turned a corner too?
I mean, I think B-Flow knew how to match up against Jared Goff in that offense, right? Like, they really did keep them quiet. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown. You've got Jared Goff doing his thing. To sack Jared Goff, I always love that, because that's not easy to do. There were a couple plays where Goff got out of it, and you're like, of course he did. That was spectacular. Right. That was absolutely brilliant.
It's kind of been the Vikings' defense Achilles heel a little bit.
It is, right? And that's just how many has it been? 6 matchups that they've lost straight to the Lions, something like that, prior to yesterday. So I like the way that the defense looked. I could use a few less penalties there and on special teams. I think that was kind of also a big problem that I saw yesterday. But ultimately, you get the victory. You keep the foot on the pedal on both sides, too. Yeah. That's what I loved the most. I think you haven't seen that defensively or offensively, really. So I think, B-Flow had it going, had it locked in. But again, another really tough one to limit a mobile quarterback like Lamar coming up on Sunday.
Right, because mobile quarterbacks have been what has been killing the Vikings all season. And you got the most mobile quarterback of all time.
Just crazy.
Probably the best dual threat quarterback of all time coming into US Bank Stadium next week. But
and
to your
Caleb Williams right behind him.
Right, which is he already gave the Vikings fits earlier, and they had to make that fourth quarter comeback in the opening game of the season. I just thought the defense was really impressive. I thought that was their best game this season thus far, because I think some defenses in the NFL, I mean, maybe not statistically, but some defenses in the NFL are predicated on, like, okay, Myles Garrett has to go wreck something, otherwise we're screwed. You know, like this Vikings defense is predicated on synergy. Everyone being healthy, everyone playing their role, and we haven't got to see everyone be healthy and play their role. And so now that everybody is, that ecosystem is kind of flourishing, and we got to see complementary football for the first time, like, all season.
Oh, literally all season. Yeah, I wouldn't even say maybe it was. It's the first time, so we love it.
And like you said, the Vikings 4-4, back to 500, still in last place in the North, but the Packers only have one more win than them. They're 5-2-1. The Lions are 5-3. The Bears are 5-3, and they lost to the Panthers and the Browns.
It's almost as good as a Vikings win as the Packers.
It felt really good. It felt really good. Yeah,
for sure. There's still. There is hope that the Vikings could win the division.
Absolutely.
It's okay. It still happens.
And they still have 2 divisional games against the Packers, another one against the Bears, and another one against the Lions. So it's going to get greasy here down the stretch.
Lots to come up. Let's transition to the Minnesota Wild. Listen, they were in a 5-game losing streak. 4 of those losses were at home, I was reading. They allowed at least 4 goals in all of those losses, but they're back. They beat the Canucks on Saturday, 5-2. How are you feeling about the Wild? This is a crazy stat. I saw they're tied with the Sharks for the 3rd fewest points in the NHL with 11 points. Only the Blues and the Flames have less points than the Wild do.
And they have allowed the 2nd most goals in the NHL as well to the Ottawa Center. So it's been fun. It's been really fun in St. Paul as much as it has been in Minneapolis too for the Vikings. No, it's a head scratcher. It's frustrating to watch. There's been zero consistency night in and night out. The win in Vancouver, I think, it was a sigh of relief for the team, mostly. You could just feel they were walking a little lighter at practice today, right? Because I don't think they were as necessarily as bad as they had been looking for those first 11 games, frankly. I mean, take off the St. Louis Blues game where they went on a heater and went 5-0. St. Louis isn't good. So they should. I mean, that's good. That wasn't indicative of just where the Minnesota Wild were. Now, losses to the San Jose Sharks and losses during this homestand, that has been absolutely critical because, as we like to say in the hockey world, you can't win the Stanley Cup in October, but you can definitely lose the Stanley Cup in October. And right now, the positioning that they put themselves in the Central Division and in the West isn't great. It's not good because you have teams like the Colorado Avalanche, the Dallas Stars, the Winnipeg Jets, and the Utah Mammoth who are absolutely crushing it right now. That's your Central Division right there, and those are your top teams. Not to mention you look at the other side in the Pacific, it's the Edmonton Oilers, the Vegas Golden Knights, the LA Kings. Like, those teams are all going to be fighting tight too. So for Minnesota to bury themselves in this little bit of a hole, not great. Now, could a win turn that all around? Absolutely. They've got the Nashville Predators at home tomorrow night to close out the 6-game homestand. You need that win. You need to show me that wasn't a flash in the pan against Vancouver. Vancouver's injury-riddled right now. Needed that victory. Good they got it. But I need more. I need to see a little bit more on the offense, defense, and goaltending.
Yeah.
Well, and then speaking of goaltending, Adam mentioned it just a second ago. The Gus bus has been a bumpy ride thus far this season. Is it a defensive issue? Is it more so on gut? Like, what's kind of going on with the goaltending this season?
I think I will give credit to Philip Gustafsson. It's been a leaky defense. The defense has been uncharacteristically not as hard on pucks as I've usually seen them. Brock Faber kind of feels a step behind. Jonas Brodin, Jared Spurgeon, Jake Middleton, those guys that you have relied on to be so stingy, just a little off, and I can't quite figure out what it is. Now they've been mixing in Perrin Zebullium, the big rookie defenseman coming in from Denver. He's making mistakes, but he needs to. It's his first NHL year, right? So you have to give him those reps. You have to give him those opportunities. So I love that they're allowing him to make mistakes. But then in turn, I think that brings down some of that veteran presence as well. So I look more at the defense as to why the goaltending hasn't maybe been quite where it is. Now, that being said, you need Philip Gustafsson to steal you a game. You need him to win those games for you when the offense isn't clicking and when the defense is that bad. And last year, I think that's the difference as to that hot start. He did that. He was the star of the month, I think, in October because he had performed so well. And we just haven't seen that yet. Doesn't mean that it's not there, and it doesn't necessarily mean that he's been playing poorly, but it's certainly something that I kind of want to be like, hey, Gus Bus, let's start those engines a little bit louder, I don't know.
You've been at all of these games for this whole homestand. Like I said, a lot of them have been losses. You're kind of interconnected with the team. What sort of, peel back the curtain here for the folks that don't get to have this access that you get. What are the vibes kind of like? What was it like during that?
And how does it covering a team that's on a 5-game losing streak from a human perspective? That can't be very fun, right?
I tread lightly into those locker rooms. We try not to smile too much. Halloween Friday, we weren't dressing up and joking about trick-or-treating necessarily with our questions. No, I mean, credit to the team and credit to John Hines. The morale was okay. They were obviously frustrated. They were obviously disappointed. They're competitors, right? They are professional athletes. There is going to be that. But I don't know that they tried very hard to not let it get in the way. I'm not saying that it didn't, because I think there were instances where guys are gripping their sticks too tightly and they're trying to do too much to get out of it. Kirill Kaprizov had quite a few turnovers before this victory because I think he was trying to literally will this team into a win, and it just wasn't happening. So ultimately, it was touch and go. Again, I think we were respectful of them and they were respectful of us answering the questions. I kind of wanted to see, though, sometimes a little bit more anger. Like, you should be mad. You should be embarrassed that this is happening, especially at home. Like, last year, the home record was also not great, and the fans here, the players know that they deserve to see a good product on the ice. We're the state of hockey for a reason. So, a little bit more anger might have done well, but again, they handled it well. They're resilient. I know they had players-only meetings, closed doors, all of that good stuff, and they got the win. So again, just string them together.
Yeah.
Just pile them up.
Let's hope it's a turning point for them for the rest of the season. I mean, at least in the immediate future. Like, we know the Predators is tomorrow night. What's kind of in the immediate future for the Wild?
Yeah, this week then it's going to be a tough back-to-back on the road. 2 quick games in Carolina. The Carolina Hurricanes, very, very good team. A Stanley Cup favorite for a number of years now. They are fast. So Minnesota's going to struggle with them. I think that's not going to be an easy contest. And then to go to Long Island, or actually they're Brooklyn, I think now, the following night, right?
Yeah. Back to Long Island. They moved to Brooklyn.
They moved to Brooklyn, and then
they're back to Long Island.
Now they're back.
They're out
there.
there.
One of those beautiful the UBS arena. So
amazing.
Really gorgeous.
See? Now we know.
Have you ever seen the documentary about the owner guy?
Yes. I would have owned a team in the 80s if I could have, too. Like, you just need to say, I faxed it, and that's all it is. Oh, it's brilliant.
One of the great scams of all time. He scammed his way into owning a team.
Oh, I got to watch that.
Yes, it's a 30
so
for
good.
30. It's
Yes.
an unbelievable story where, like, all these different people down the line were counting on somebody else to do the vetting. Nobody did the vetting, and a guy that had $10,000
he had very
to
little
his
money.
name, somehow finessed his way into buying
the
entire
New York Islanders.
NHL franchise, and he was the owner for at least a couple months.
It's very similar to what's that girl that they did the Netflix documentary, Anna something or whatever.
Delvey.
Yes, Anna Delvey, where she I have all this money. It's like, no, you don't. You just have people telling other people that you do, and it was very bizarre, but hilarious.
I gotta watch that.
It's unbelievable.
A slight blemish on the NHL part for not figuing that one out quick enough, because I think it went on for like a year.
It was a good minute, and basically the NHL wanted the Islanders to be sold so bad that they didn't do their due diligence. The former owners of the Islanders wanted them to be gone so bad. They wanted to sell the team so bad. They didn't do their due diligence. Nobody did their due diligence.
Nobody did.
And so this guy with $13 and a paperclip in his pocket, ended up buying the Islanders and had no experience, no nothing.
Just a hockey fan, I think, too. Like, I think he's just like,
really.
I love the Islanders. I want to own this team. Okay. Like,
He's like one of those guys that calls in the radio station like, I should run the team, except he took it to the extreme and actually ended up
he
running
moved
the
from
team.
armchair GM to like actual GM
Right.
and owner. So
That's crazy. I got to watch that.
It's unbelievable.
The only thing I know about the captain, Anders Lee from Edina, Minnesota. He's the captain of the Islanders.
He is. Yeah, we love us some Anders Lee. Great quarterback of Edina as well. So that kind of fun. Play multiple sports, children. Just a reminder.
Tell the people where he went to college, Jesse. Anderson.
Notre Dame.
Yeah, that's right.
He went to Notre Dame.
You know every single person that's ever gone to Notre Dame in history. How about the NHL getting some national spotlight on SNL over the weekend?
Yeah.
That was great.
And I liked that one a little bit better than the Rangers one they did with Chance the Rapper a few years back, where everyone knows the like, let's play that hockey. And Brady Shea, another Minnesotan,
you gotta
his
be
name
sick
got
of that
cut
gif at this point, right? The Chance. I get that one every single. It's like,
every single time.
Like, all right,
let's play that hockey. Yeah. That one was good, but this one was all about because Preds in the community is actually a theme that they went with in the summer, which
crazy.
You wouldn't think of it, I guess, but these poor kids.
Like vetting. How did that pass multiple rooms where they have focus groups that all went? Yes.
That's it.
Yes, we want Preds in the community.
And Miles Teller crushed it. I love me some Miles Teller.
he's
absolutely phenomenal. So to have him jump in on it was great.
It's
it was
crazy.
So funny.
Speaking of the Preds, the Wild looking to put together. You're talking about stringing together wins. The first back-to-back win streak of the season.
Really?
So, tomorrow night against the Predators. Jesse, you'll be at the game tomorrow.
Yes.
We appreciate you being here with us today. You're the co-host of the Bar Down Beauties podcast. We appreciate it.
Hey, always, boys.
When's the new episode coming out?
Tomorrow. I was kind of nice. I wasn't like overly nice, but there were some critical moments.
A little bit.
Play a little better,
Christmas
boys.
is right around the corner. You got to end up on that nice list.
Yes, exactly.
Thanks, Jesse. We
Thanks,
appreciate
guys.
it. We have a fantastic story coming on next. It's all about affordable glasses for people all around the world.
Yeah.
This guy trying to cut those living with vision impairment, cut that number in half from 2 billion to 1 billion.
Super admirable because, like I said, people might not understand. People that don't have glasses don't know. It is a super expensive endeavor. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that conversation coming up right after this. Don't go anywhere. We are back here on the afternoon shift. Maxx, you said you're ready. You can't.
Yeah, I can't. I don't have my glasses. I don't. Maybe I need some. Maybe I need some new ones. I didn't have time to go. We had an invigorating conversation with Jesse in the commercial break. I forgot to get my glasses, and now I'm in squint mode. I can't see anything.
Well, listen,
are we on the air right now? I can't even see if the light is on right now.
Right now, you're one of more than 2.2 billion people around the world that are living with vision impairment. Yeah. Sadly, nearly half those cases could be corrected with just a simple pair of glasses, but a lot of people can't access these glasses. Yeah. There is an organization that's trying to change this. It's called Global Vision 2020, and their director of operations, Gregory Weens, is with us now. Gregory, welcome to the afternoon shift. How are you, sir?
Hey, guys. It was awesome listening to hockey. I'm a huge hockey fan.
Oh,
sweet. Who's your squad?
I live in Winnipeg, but I'm a dual citizen between Ohio and Winnipeg.
Yes.
And so I toss back and forth. Winnipeg right now, but the Blue Jackets are the other one.
Oh, all right. All right. Are you if you're Canadian, do you like the Blue Jays? Do you like the Blue Jack? Do you like the Blue Jays?
Oh well, of course. That was I don't know if I can talk about that right now.
We don't have to.
Too soon.
I am a big fan of the Twins organization.
You're saying all the right things, Gregory. Hey, can you tell us what is Global Vision 2020 all about?
Oh my, the internet is not working very good.
Oh,
I'm moving the room really quick.
Okay. Yep, we're going to bring it back here. We're back here. We're going to learn more about Global Vision 2020. Well, this is what happened. The Dodgers won, and then Canada's like, what?
They heard the mere mention of the Dodgers. Canada started.
They're just like
hitting that X button on the old internet connection, trying to shut my man Greg down. But hopefully he'll get back in the mix here soon. And,
he'll get back. We hear you, Greg.
Yeah,
we hear us.
Okay. Yes, I hear you fine.
Amazing. Can you tell us what is Global Vision 2020 all about?
Okay, so we are here to solve a problem that is the number one disability in the world, and that is access to prescription glasses. So there are 2.1 billion people in the world who are currently walking around who are vision impaired, and they just simply need a pair of glasses. And glasses are often too expensive, and there's extremely limited access to optometrists. So this is a system that we invented with the help of the U.S. military and the Mennonite Church to solve 92% of it.
Wow. What is this this newfangled invention that you guys got?
Okay. So this is the tester. It's a lens that goes from a +6 to a -6.
Oh no.
We come in to, say, a UN refugee camp, and I train in advance the healthcare aides, the nurses, the teachers, the pharmacy tech, that we can advance. And now we can pre-screen all the people who need glasses. We can do up to 1,000 in a day. We'll find out that 300 of them need a pair of glasses. They simply put this on, turn the dial till they see clearly. It tells you their prescription in the same manner as the way it would work for a pair of binoculars, except for it tells you the prescription on the side. You line up the lenses that meet with the color-coded system, and you've got a brand new pair of glasses that you make on the spot that meets all the American requirements for a pair of glasses. Wow. And you snap them into the frames, 3 different sizes, small, medium, and large. They're exactly the same glasses you buy at Walmart. And the cost is, drum roll, $5 American.
Wow. That's incredible. How do you guys keep the cost so low?
Well, that's actually the real price of glasses when you're buying them in bulk. So frames, about $2. Lenses, about $1 each. The little bag that they come in, about 50 cents. By the time you get it to the refugee camp, you're talking about $5.
Wow. What have been the results, Greg, that you've already seen from this? I mean, this is not just giving people vision, but really impacting people's lives, right?
Yeah. So we've moved just shy of 1 million glasses. Wow. The vast preponderance of them have been done in and around UN refugee camps. And recently, we've started to help the ones who are the best at it to move back to their country of origin out of the refugee camp and set up clinics in their home country. Thus, bringing vision into communities that literally have no optometrists. So I'll use Congo as an example. Congo is a nation of just shy of 1 million people, and there are 4 optometrists.
Wow.
So we're able to get healthcare aides into their community and connect up and get 92% of the people the glasses they need to pass the driver's eye exam in North America.
That's absolutely incredible. Startling numbers there, but that's absolutely incredible that you guys are doing your part to change that. What makes glasses so expensive? Like you said, it's a pretty inexpensive process for you guys to do. What makes them so expensive?
Well, one of them is, and one of the reasons is the optometrists are highly trained professionals, and most of the world has no access to them, and it's very expensive to get to. So again, let's go back to Congo. There is no optometry school in Congo. If you want to learn to be an optometrist, you have to leave the country. There's my guys in Congo making glasses. So you actually have to leave the country, get your optometry degree, and come back. Guess what the chances of people coming back after they've left the country to get their glasses?
Virtually 0.
Wow.
Almost none. So you have no optometrists. And when you have no optometrists, there's nobody to test the glasses. Our system is not developed to replace optometrists. It's to fill in the gap. And when there is an access to an optometrist, they can dramatically increase their output. So going back to that refugee camp, 300 people will get need a pair of glasses out of that 1,000 on average. This way, we get 275 of them the glasses they need to pass the driver's eye exam. And then we send them up the ladder to the optometrists.
It's incredible, Greg.
That's
all
awesome.
the stuff that you are doing, and
Yeah.
like I said earlier, not just giving people vision, but really impacting people's everyday lives and giving people a chance at success. How did you get passionate about this line of work? I mean, it would have been probably easy for you just to go to an office every day and see patients and kind of do the corporate thing. What got you passionate about this particular line of work?
Well, our executive director, so I'm the director of operations. Our executive director, he was the director of operations for all international development projects with the European Office for the U.S. military, and he gave oversight to all the projects in Africa. So let's say there's a refugee camp in Mali. He gave oversight to an eyeglass clinic, or he might give oversight to a girls' school in Malawi. And we crossed paths, and we saw that this just wasn't working, the old model. So here's the old model. You bring in one optometrist. That optometrist might see 50 people in a day. And out of those 50, you might get 25 of them the used glasses they need so that they can see pretty close to well. It was summed up, though, best in this. One of the leaders in the community, he got the right pair of glasses to see 20/20, but they were pink frames with rose-tinted lenses. So he's not going to wear them, right? He left seeing 20/50 with a pair of glasses that looked like this, that were all beat up already and scratched. And he was happier with that than the ones that he saw 20/20 with, because he needed dignity to look good. Like, what man is going to wear rose-tinted glasses? So this is the direct result of us saying there's got to be a better way, and we worked on this together.
That's awesome.
But what's next for you guys at Global Vision?
Well, I'd say the number one thing next is proof of concept so that this can be turned into sustainable businesses. There's always going to be a need for this in charity. So we're not going to stop working in refugee camps. Those glasses are given away for free. These are people who have nothing, right? And when you get a pair of glasses, you can actually start to make a living again, whether it's learning in the education, so you can see the blackboard for kids, drive safely. The very first person I always go to see with making glasses is my taxi driver. How many taxi drivers have I made glasses over the world? How many times have I saved my own life and many people's lives around them? But the next stage is we want to create sustainable business models. So for example, in Ghana, with an organization called IDE International, they're renowned for starting sustainable businesses and handing them over to local entrepreneurs. So in Ghana in the new year, we're going to have 50 entrepreneurs who are setting up in universities around the country, pharmacies, in regions where there is no access to optometrists. We're giving them the first 110 pair of glasses, And we're training them and giving them business coaching. And our hope is that they become the first entrepreneurs to do this in large scale, selling glasses in their community for about $10 to $12 a pair, which is 3 days' wage, and then resupplying that. There's one of my guys. Awesome. Resupplying them with their own glasses at $5 a pair. So if we can crack that code, we can start reaching into those communities in a way that it's not charity, but it's pulling people up by their own bootstraps.
I love it, Greg. Where can people learn more about your organization?
There's another teacher right there. She was just killing it with her students. She didn't realize she needed glasses. She taught 20/40, which isn't terrible. She can cross the street, but she never felt comfortable driving her scooter. After she got those glasses, she was like so excited. I can drive at night, because she just didn't see clearly and didn't even know it. And she was one of the best ones to find the right students afterwards who needed glasses, because she understood it herself.
That's awesome, Greg. There you see the website right there at the bottom of the screen, gv2020.org, to learn more. Gregory Wiens, the Director of Operations for Global Vision 2020. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Greggy. Appreciate it. That was great, and such a worthy and notable cause that they're trying to help there.
Yeah, talked to a lot of admirable people doing really, really great work out there, whether it's just here in the Twin Cities or all across the world, like Global Vision.
For real. We're going to have today's top story coming up right after this commercial break. Don't go anywhere. Max, we touched on this story earlier. It's day 34 of the government shutdown. This is impacting the SNAP food benefits program.
Yeah, for sure. It's something that we've stayed diligent on throughout this whole process, because obviously I think people like to forget that this stuff affects not just politicians but the everyday person. Unfortunately, there's a huge ripple effect across the country, and millions of people were without their SNAP benefits starting over this weekend.
That's right. Stephanie Lehman, she's the executive director of the ACBC Food Shelf. She's trying to help those who need it most. Max and I had the pleasure of talking to her earlier. Let's roll that back in.
So ACBC
ACBC Food Shelf provides food and other resources to families and households all over the Twin Cities, but primarily Anoka County is kind of our hub, but especially in today's climate, everyone is really helping everyone. Yeah.
What is kind of like, when did ACBC get its start? Like, kind of how long have you guys been around, and like, what is your usual kind of bounds of operation compared to like the demand right now?
Okay, so we've been around since 1971, so almost our 55-year anniversary. Just to give a little context of how much the need has grown, in 2019, we had about 8,700 food shelf visits. Last year, we had over 23,000, and this year it'll probably be close to 30,000. We've already fed about 60,000 people up just through the end of September, so the need has been really crazy. We are, like I said, open boundaries. So we have people from all over coming for services. They come into a food shelf. Sometimes ours is a choice model food shelf. That means people can come and shop for themselves. And that is really important to people, especially when you're looking at cultural needs and health issues. So that's one of the things we provide, but we do provide additional produce distributions throughout the month. And right now, we're really gearing up because of the SNAP halt or decrease. So we've actually increased our services by quite a bit, including adding some emergency programs.
And you mentioned it's a choice food shelf.
Yeah.
How exactly does that work? Like, if somebody's going to go inside ACBC, what's the process like from the time they step in the door and the time they leave? And because of this, the SNAP freeze, has that program changed, the choice changed because maybe the demand is a little bit higher?
What the change is that we're purchasing a lot more food than we were. That's the change. So the process is usually a family or household would make an appointment because we want to get people in and out as quickly as possible because transportation is a barrier for many of our homes. But then we also, so it's a full shelf, it's a food grocery store, right? So you walk in, you get your fresh produce, your meat, your dairy, your pet food, whatever you need. It's supposed to be a really set up as a warm and welcoming environment because it's a really tough to need food, and we know that there should be plenty of food in the community right now. But we have added some additional resources and services, some drop-in stuff, so people can just come in as needed because we do know that right now the need is higher than ever.
So right now with the government shutdown, is it kind of just is the onus all on you guys? Are you getting any help from the state? Or kind of what's the deal with that right now? Because I know there was a ruling over the weekend. I don't know if that impacts what you guys are doing, but what is the onus completely on you guys? Or are you guys getting any?
Yeah. Good question. So there is a one-time like $4 million payment that's going to come out through the state. That's kind of shared between about 300 food shelves. I will say the community has been amazing. We're getting donations, a lot of little notes like same thing, food shouldn't be political. It seems to be a really a message in the community like this shouldn't be happening, and it's making people stand up and say it's not fair. Yeah.
Do you have you seen? I know that the freeze of SNAP just started on Saturday over the weekend. I know it's just Monday. Have you seen an uptick? Like, what was the experience like at work today? Did you see a higher sort of attendance per se?
Yeah, so last week we ramped up because we knew this week would be busy, but to be honest, there's been a lot of visits to the food shelf because there's so many workers that are furloughed or losing their job or not being paid. So we are seeing a lot of people coming in because of that. They're saying, you know, we have a job, but we're not being paid. We have been experiencing that the last few weeks, and today. We actually went in yesterday to see how many phone messages were already coming in over the weekend. So we are seeing a definite uptick, but we have some plans in place this week to get people in for food just for their shop, to do some free distributions, free boxes on Thursday, and then we're doing a produce distribution on Friday. So it's not just about access to food, but it's also about access to healthy food. So we want to make sure we're still keeping that at the forefront of what we're doing.
You mentioned it right there a little bit, but is there additional kind of like events going on this week with the uptick in demand?
Yes, yeah. So, like I said, Thursday, we're going to have a kind of a drop-in box program. So we're really not sure what to expect. Right now, we're almost full with our appointments. So we know that we're going to have, that's going to be a big thing coming up. So we already have volunteers on standby ready to start packing. And that will be boxed food, meat, dairy, some stuff like that, and fresh produce. And then Friday will be just a drop-in. People drop in to get fresh produce, and that's, we do that until we run out of food. So we usually expect a couple hundred families in that one as well.
Is the for the people that are going to pick up food from ACBC, is it no questions asked pretty much at the door?
Yeah.
Like anybody really can show up? Because I'm sure for a lot of people it's probably a really hard thing to
Yes.
to go, so yeah.
We make it as easy and painless as possible. Most of anything that we ask is really online or from home. We want people to come in and just be able to shop for food. Anybody who is getting SNAP benefits, we want them to be able to feel comfortable to come. And we hope that, like a lot of other food shelves, we really make sure that providing an experience that's really positive and welcoming while giving people what they need for food is really important to us. So we will make it as seamless as we can. Yeah.
No, you guys are superheroes in our eyes, but not just our eyes. You're certified as a super shelf. What exactly is a super shelf?
Yeah, super shelf means that we've taken an initiative to provide specific kinds of food in our food shelf, but also, like I said, a warm and welcoming environment. So we're going to have, people will come in and they know they're going to get fresh produce and meat and dairy and stuff like that, but they also know they're going to be treated with respect and that they're going to be, coming into a kind of a family. So we really work hard to provide that, even through our training, through our staffing, through everything.
You mentioned part of being the superfood shelf is offering up a specific kind of food. What can you get into those specifics? Like what's
yeah. It just means that we will offer, say, like 10 types of produce or, 5 types of bakery items. And sometimes that's expensive to do that. So we have dedicated, budget to making sure that we purchase that stuff. Now, when we have an uptick in, we're probably going to serve 400 to 500 families this month is what we're thinking. It could be more, could be less. But when you think of the additional cost to a food shelf when they're doing that, and all across the metro, that's everyone's seeing the same thing. So that's just good to keep in mind when supporting a food shelf like ours.
Yeah. No, I know the government shutdown could end. Right now, it could end in 5 minutes. But obviously, it's November. It's right around Thanksgiving time. I'm sure you guys see a lot of uptake around the holidays as well. Do you guys have any special Thanksgiving stuff going on around those times? Yeah.
Right now, we're giving out Thanksgiving kits to all of our people, all of the households that come in. So that's something we like to do. We want to make sure the families still have some normalcy during this time of year. But it's crazy, right? Yeah, it's really sad.
How did you first get started with ACBC?
Yeah.
It's a very mission driven organization.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of sparked your interest and passion for this kind of work?
Yeah, so I actually came out of the nonprofit world, and I had an opportunity to work for a food shelf, and then I went to ACBC during COVID, which was a crazy time to go to a food shelf. And it was so scary, and it was amazing, and I loved it. And it's really allowed us to kind of start from zero. COVID gave us a chance to really look at everything we did and figure out how to do it better. And that's what we've done. So we kind of recreated who we were a little bit as far as our processes and how we did things. And I think it's been a great experience. And I think that's why we're seeing so many families more than we were. That's part of it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's awesome. We really appreciate all the hard work that you guys do at ACBC. If people want to learn more out there, where can they learn more?
ACBCfoodshelf.org is a great place to start, or Facebook.
Awesome.
Yeah.
The ACBC Food Shelf Executive Director, Stephanie Wayman. Stephanie, we appreciate it. By the way, what does ACBC stand for?
It stands for Anoka County Brotherhood Council.
Brotherhood Council.
Did that take a while to not say ACBC?
I know. But Anoka County Brotherhood Council is a mouthful, so ACBC is a little easier to say. Yeah.
Well, Stephanie, thank you for your time and
thank you
for what you're doing in the community for real. Yeah.
No, thank you guys for raising awareness. It's really important.
Da, 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 da. ACBC. Da,
They did like their own cover band. Yeah, that just does like food related
Right.
songs. That would be amazing.
Yeah, and they do such great work.
Amazing
and
stuff.
never been a more important time to get involved with the ACBC. Go look them up. Stephanie Lehman, she was terrific and a great spokesperson for the organization.
Absolutely. And I know they're based in Anoka, but like Stephanie said, that it is a borderless.
Yes.
Anybody out there that needs some help, go over ahead and find ACBC, and they'll help you out.
That's right. We'll wrap up our show right after this. Don't go anywhere. What a day to be here on the afternoon shift. Anything but a manic Monday, I would say, at the afternoon
Right.
shift.
We've covered it all from voting to vision.
Yes.
From snap to slap shots. We've done it all here
yes.
on the afternoon shift today. And we'll do it all again tomorrow as well.
Yeah, from Jesse Pierce to the Predators.
I like that.
trying,
I like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
So you're doing it on the fly.
I'm doing it on the fly.
That's beautiful.
I'm trying.
It's a beautiful. I try to find something with daylight saving.
Right.
It's hard. It doesn't really roll off the tongue.
Yeah. Tomorrow will be a very special edition of the afternoon shift. Honestly, it's going to be kind of a pretty straightforward. It's going to be all dedicated to Election Day. We're going to have live updates coming in throughout the day. I'm sure many people at home are going to be locked in and curious to hear what's going on.
Absolutely. I think it's just wall-to-wall coverage in general. I believe all day. I don't want to speak for all day, but I believe they have a 3-hour show tomorrow. They're filling in that gap all the way from 12 until 3, and then they'll hand the baton off to us, and we'll take the election coverage from there. And obviously, I'm sure Kelsey and Simone and everybody else in the nighttime crew will also take it from there. Maybe even have some results in to inform the good people of the Twin Cities.
I heard that you signed up to go you're not going home until they have a winner declared.
I'm basically I'm in charge of the polling here. Like there's like we talked to an election judge and stuff like that. People that work the polls.
Right.
I'm working the polls here.
Right.
They told me, Max, we don't want you working the polls. Go home. I said, no.
Yeah.
I'm camping out today.
Yeah.
Today. I'm not even leaving. I'm gonna be here all night.
You'll be here all night.
And I'm gonna be here until tomorrow, which there's 23 hours until our next show. We'll be back, same time, same place. In the meantime, I remain Max Fuller.
I'm Adam Llorens.
Signing off for Paul Milgate and Grace Henry as well. We're getting ready to start the 5 o'clock news again. That is Simone and Kelsey. It's about to start right now.
This is Fox 9 News at 5.
And hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us here at 5 o'clock tonight. I'm Kelsey Carlson.
And I'm Simone.